I feel like going from last year to this year is a big change. My attitude has changed, and I'm just trying to come out here and get better. And especially with installing a new offense, you got to be on top of everything every single day. You're getting ready to know what the next install is for the next practice. So I just think my focus has been a lot better this year compared to last year.
Is there an extra sense of focus or urgency needed just because of how many guys are involved in this battle for playing time at wide receiver?
Yeah, everybody got to stay on top of on their P's and Q's and things like that, and especially with the depth that we have and everybody being able to come in and play. And, everybody just wants to get better out here, and we're trying to make ourselves better, make each other better. We're not trying to necessarily, peck at one another and compete just to take the one guy's spot. We're just trying to be the best wide receivers that we possibly every single practice, and, whatever happens with the depth chart, it'll take care of itself.
So because the tempo's changed so much, as a result, what's the biggest adjustment you have to make? What's kind of changed as a result of that for you?
Just getting back to the line of scrimmage and getting ready to get the next play call, because as soon as that play is over, the whistle's blown and the referee spot the ball, the signalers are going ahead and they're signaling the next play. And we got to get back to the line of scrimmage as fast as possible and know what our assignment is, like right then and there, be able to read coverages and things like that. So I think just the whole mental aspect of it, getting the play, getting to the line of scrimmage and knowing exactly what your assignment is in such a short amount of time is a big adjustment.
So because of all that running around, anybody get sick day one, or were you kind of like sucking air out of breath, after the first?
Yeah, day one, it crawled upon us fast. Guys were winded. Even today, as the number of practices going up and increase and things like that, guys are still getting tired. So, it's not really something that you can get adjust to just the first couple of practices. You're gonna have to just go out there and be, conditioned. And you're gonna have to do extra work conditioning yourself, and then at the same time, I guess just pacing yourself and knowing exactly what you're supposed to be doing at every play, because you gotta be able to run routes when you're tired and get open when you're tired.
What's the difference between Joe Moorhead, the meeting room leader, and Joe Moorhead, the on-field coach?
Not much of a difference. Coach Moorhead has coached for days. He has a lot of anecdotes, things like that, metaphors, and he has the same type of verbatim in the meeting room as he does out here on the field. And he's going to be a vocal leader for us in the meeting room and out here on the field. So you notice that a lot with Coach Moorhead. He's always going to be on guys' backs and make sure they're giving their best effort 100% at all times. And he just wants execution, just like any other coach would across the nation. So, it's not much of a difference from him off the field and on the field. He's going to, be harping on the same points at all times.
DaeSean, who are the player leaders this year?
Player leaders, Jason over there. Trace has been a player leader. Malik, Brandon Bell, Saquon, surprisingly, he's coming up and being a big player leader too. Especially for how young he is and things like that. Brian Gaia, Andrew Nelson, he's been bringing up a lot of the young guys, things like that. Chris Godwin, Saeed, they've been, as they're learning the offense themselves, they're helping with other guys learn the offense, things like that, and get adjusted and acclimated to this. So, there's a bunch of names that I could keep going on and on with.
It's a good start.
Yeah.
DaeSean, I'm sorry I jumped in late, but if you've already been asked about the tempo of this offense, what do you like about playing at this tempo, and can you notice that it's wearing your own defense down a little bit?
Yeah, it's something our defense has to get used to and adjusted to, especially from us just huddling every play and you coming in and, winding time down on the play clock, and now we're just having about 20 seconds left on the play clock. It's something to really get adjusted to. We're moving at such a fast pace, no matter what tempo that we're going at, everybody's just getting back to the ball and get back to the line of scrimmage as fast as possible. Wide receivers got to get adjusted to that too, especially on deep routes. They got to come right back and get ready to run the next play. So it's been a challenge, but I think guys are getting used to it now.
Do you sense any differences with a new coordinator, given that it's somebody that you've already worked with an awful lot?
Definitely, there's some wrinkles, but I would say it's been a very smooth transition, with Coach Pry. And I think the fact that he was already here, helps a ton, and that trust had already been built. Coach Pry's doing a really, really good job, taking advantage of this situation. Guys are really, believing in him and are really bought in him right now. So I think it's a very smooth transition.
What do you see from the guys up front, on the defensive line, who are replacing, a lot of seniors from last year? What are you seeing from them so far?
Yeah, obviously, we got guys, who left and are gone and kind of moving on. And, guys are really stepping up, especially young guys. Windsor's looking great. Kevin Givens is doing a hell of a job. Garrett Sickles obviously is doing a good job. All these guys are really stepping up, and that's what we need. We need them to grow up quick. Antoine White, these guys are growing up quick, and they're doing a hell of a job for us, and we have a lot of confidence in them.
Franklin mentioned Givens too. What is it about him that's different this spring?
The dude's he's like a ball of muscle. He's technically very, very sound. You know, he strong dude. I mean, you see his numbers in the weight room. He's very, very strong. And he kind of takes that to the D line, and he's doing good. You know, he's striking, he's getting off blocks. He's going to be a disruptive guy.
Who are the early leaders of this team through the first couple practices?
No, it's hard to say. You know, it's hard to say. Obviously, you know, you got guys at the quarterback position trying to take over. You know, Trace and Tommy really doing a good job on the offensive side of the ball, and Brian Gaia, you know, taking over that offensive line. You know, we got the linebackers. You know, Naeem's still doing a good job of being a leader. You know, even though he's not really out there and he's limited right now, and even B. Bell as well. But, I mean, from the most part, we have a lot of guys who are kind of stepping up into those roles, and we're excited right now. You know, a lot of guys want to be that, and that's kind of what you want. You want to have a lot of guys who want to be in that position. So.
What about you? Do you consider yourself one of the leaders?
Yeah, you know, absolutely. You know, I think it's something that I take pride in. I think it's something that's necessary. You know, being somebody who's played for 2 years now, I think it's necessary. You know, we have a lot of young guys coming up, and I'm a guy who's kind of been here a couple of years and kind of show the ropes to the younger guys and kind of lead these young linebackers as of right now during the spring.
Has anybody stepped up on offense that's kind of surprised people?
You know, maybe surprise wouldn't be the word, but, you know, Juwan Johnson's, you know, he's doing some stuff. Obviously, DaeSean, you know, Chris Godwin's in great form right now. I mean, he's still doing the things he did all season long. I mean, there's a lot of guys I can point out. Trace McSorley, Tommy Stevens doing a lot of stuff with their legs right now and throwing the ball. So a lot of guys, a lot of playmakers that we have.
Sounds like it's more up-tempo, too. How difficult is that for the defense to go against?
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's it's tough. You know, you got to think fast, got to think on your feet. Guys got to get back to their home positions. It's definitely a tough thing to deal with, and I think it's going to be very tough on defenses. So we're excited about that.